Manchester United, and again things have just got a little bit silly at the end. Almost got away from Newcastle, but still one or two flashes of temper from their players who don't want to be teased and taunted to the end of this game.
Erik Ten Hag earlier on in the week suggested that Newcastle knew the dark arts of the game, but his team have been streetwise in this second half. I mentioned that Casemiro, Martinez, Varane, they've been around the block and they've shown it. Real experience and maturity in this performance. They know what they're doing out there. It's hard when you're 2-0 up to keep a team at bay that are throwing everything at you, but they've done it really, really well. They've managed this game out in real style.
Fernandes has taken the kick, aim for the corner. 9 months into his reign, Erik Ten Hag has his first trophy as Manchester United manager, and he'll be determined that it's not the last. He consoles Eddie Howe and Jason Tyndall as Newcastle leave Wembley defeated again, but this feels like a watershed moment for this Manchester United side. Beaten in the first 2 matches of the Dutchman's reign, but this is the first sign that they have bounced back with 3 other trophies still to go for this season. The leadership of Casemiro, crucial. He got the first goal, the header from a Luke Shaw free kick, and it was just 6 minutes later when Marcus Rashford broke through, got a deflection off Sven Botman that looped over Loris Karius, and Newcastle were unable to fight back from that position. A significant moment for Manchester United going forward, Gary.
Absolutely. Huge day for Manchester United. He at the heart of it, but it really is about one man, how he's transformed this team from whiners into winners in such a short period of time. Erik Ten Hag, what a job that he's done. Players that we'd given up on, players that we thought shouldn't play for Manchester United again, they're still out there performing at a really high level, and they've got a spirit, they've got a fight, and they've got a real chance of coming back and winning trophies beyond this again, because you can see something emerging with him. He makes good decisions in matches. His substitutions in the second half were critical in making sure Manchester United saw this game out. And it's been a really brilliant last few months for the club, for those players, but in particular for the manager.
And Jamie, I think the two of you are unanimous in your player of the match.
Yeah, listen, it could have been one of the centre-backs as well who were outstanding. I just think Casemiro getting the goal, and for all of this game, it was Newcastle with the ball, but you never ever felt at any stage in this game that Manchester United wouldn't win the game. Their experience, their know-how, never panic at all at any stage in the game. And that man was outstanding alongside Varane, Casemiro in front, and those 3 with the goalkeeper behind. You just never felt at any stage Manchester United were going to concede a goal.
Well, Bruno Fernandes started the day as captain. He's with Emma.
Bruno, congratulations. Look around. It's been a few years since Manchester United fans had a moment like this. What does it mean?
Oh, it's an amazing feeling, obviously. We've been searching.
They managed the game, and I remember what Roy said at the beginning of the game, talking about Casemiro and Rashford, the 2 main guys of the season. There's the 2 players who scored tonight. I'm extremely disappointed for Newcastle United, but that's the beginning of something.
What we should say at this point, before we talk more about Manchester United, and Les, you pointed out as we came back pitch side, they all stayed, the Newcastle fans. Normally in a final, if you're 2 down, 3 down, fans start to go with, particularly here at Wembley, with 5 or 10 minutes to go. They have stayed to a man, woman and child to applaud Newcastle.
Chappers, that doesn't surprise me. You know, I was here when we got humiliated by Manchester United in the Charity Shield, and they stayed and clapped us off when we didn't deserve it. So to see them here now, still celebrating, still not celebrating, but still here, congratulating the team on the performance, that doesn't surprise me at all.
Applauding chanting, waving their scarves, waving their flag?
Because they know that with the new investors, this is something that could happen every year. This is just the beginning. I mean, this year, they're fifth in the table, they reached the final of the Carabao Cup, and it sounds good. It sounds good. Now it's the start of the building of something great, building history.
But the next step for Newcastle is the hardest one. There's expectation now with the club. Obviously, the lads having a bit of a dance there. Oh, my goodness.
The manager's having a bit of a dance.
Not bad, actually, to be fair. I give him a little bit of credit. And he got me 2 tickets, so I can't be critical. But the next step now for Newcastle is going to be the hardest. Expectation, it's okay getting to a final. We've said all along, it's about getting your hands on a trophy, which is very, very difficult. We've seen United struggle for the last few years. So the next step now for Newcastle is going to be the hardest one, but they're certainly on the right path.
There's a massive hug there for Casemiro, and what a signing he has been.
Amazing. Obviously a brilliant player, we knew that, but sometimes you need to see him close up to see how good he is. He's adapted to the English game, obviously. He's adding goals to his game. He's obviously a big personality. He's won the big prizes before, but if you look at the players' reaction from United, it looks like it's the first trophy some of them have won. And United, it looks like it's the first trophy some of them have won. And these have had huge success in their careers. So it goes to show how happy they have to be at their club. And definitely, listen, are they arguing there? Yeah, maybe. I like that. I like players arguing. Whatever they're arguing about, it means they care. Maybe it was about the dancing.
Why didn't you score? Why didn't you pass to me? We could have won by more than 2. That's what it looks like.
That certainly did look like that, because you see Bruno going through at the end there, and he had the shot in the end. I think Casemiro could have had a tap in, and so he's telling them that even though they've won the trophy.
The Newcastle players are making that long walk up the stairs to pick up their runners-up medals. The Manchester United players with bigger smiles will follow shortly. Let's head back to our commentary team, Jamie Carragher, Gary Neville and Rob Hall.
Well, in professional football, where it's all about the winning mentality, this must be the longest and most difficult walk for the players of any team. They came today in hope of ending the long wait for a trophy. They're hoping that reaching the final is just the start of a period of glory. But in their first major final in 24 years for Newcastle United, the outcome has been the same as last time, a 2-0 defeat by Manchester United. And some of these players going up, Jamie, will know that the opportunity for them may not come again.
No, it's not easy to win trophies, as Newcastle can testify as a football club, but he'll certainly be involved in the future. Kieran Trippier has been fantastic, but there's a chance for them to obviously make history, this group of players. When that next chance comes again, the team will have changed. We know that. Newcastle looking to bigger and better things in the future. Not exactly what's happening just right now, but yeah, a huge disappointment for them. But at no stage in the game did you ever feel like they were going to win the game. That's credit to Manchester United, but what they've got to do now is not let this disappointment affect the league form. I mean, they haven't been great of late, but they've only lost 2 games this season in the Premier League. It shows how tough they have been to beat, and what they've got to now go and do is try and cement that Champions League position, because that really will kick the club on in terms of finances and what they can do in the coming years.
Yes, they have to go away now and lick their wounds, and Eddie Howe, by gradually building on the squad that he's got, will hope to lead them to triumphs further down the line. And that has been the key thing about their progress, Gary. It has been gradual. They haven't gone out and made star signings.
Yeah, I mean, it's been quite measured. I always think, look, at the I'm a Manchester United fan, so obviously I'm delighted that they've won, but I always feel when a team loses, when you see players and you wonder whether they're going to get into that position again. Obviously Newcastle's fans, they've not been here that many times, and they've come down in the tens of thousands, and they haven't had that moment to even celebrate a goal today. So there is that feeling of disappointment with that, because obviously football fans, the investment they make in travelling. Eddie Howe obviously he'll be so disappointed. I mean, I know that we've said that Manchester United deserved to win. They did. They were brilliant. They measured this game really well and deserved to win, but there is still some feeling towards those Newcastle fans. They've had a difficult last 10-15 years, and today was a special moment for them. It's just not quite gone their way.
Well, Newcastle have to reflect that every setback has to be the start of a comeback. Now comes the moment that Wembley is all about on occasions like this, the climbing of the stairs. And there are two captains, because Bruno Fernandes started the match with the armband, but the club captain, of course, is Harry Maguire, who started on the bench but who did get a few minutes at the end, and the likelihood is that they will be presented with the trophy together. Maguire, who was a disappointed Euro 2020 finalist here with England, can afford to smile today. Only got the briefest cameo appearance at the end, but he and Bruno Fernandes going up together to do the honours here, leading the victorious line. And the impressive thing about Erik Ten Hag and the way he's built this team is the way that he has put a lot of leaders in there.
Yeah, people have emerged. I mean, look, every single one of them is playing at the best level. You know, we've not mentioned Varane a lot, but I mentioned Casemiro and Rashford being Manchester United's two most important players. I actually think Varane's not far behind. He's critical now at the back. Such vast experience, but he's not really got going in a Manchester United shirt. But these last few months, absolutely fantastic there. And I have to say, every single one of them is playing at their maximum and at the best. And that's all you can ask from a group of football players. At the end of last season, some of those players were part of a team that